Hello, YouTube. We are back with more BT-15 commentary. This is the last round from Sully's Abode, which is the local card shop that the Highwayman, my pinhead, and I are usually at every Thursday at 6:30. We're here with the crew playing digi. Sully's also has a ton of different locals popping off pretty much every day of the week. So if you're in the Chicagoland area looking for a place to chill and vibe with some pretty cool people, feel free to check their store out. I'll link their TCG player website in the video description below, along with our socials. Yeah, go ahead.
I was to say, speaking of the crew, we got some crew on cam today too.
We do.
So some of the Hyper Coliseum crew. Keep going though.
Yeah. Our socials will be in the link tree in the video description below, along with the information regarding our box tournament. We've been plugging it on all of our videos, and we'll continue to do so because we are really excited to host this event. Like I said in the last one, whether this is for just a crew of 8 or a crew of 64, we really don't care about the quantity. We just want to make this a quality event for, everybody tuning in and showing support. So if you guys end up choosing to play in it, we look forward to having you. So please feel free to check the event out. But yes, as you did point out, we got a Clash of the Titans here. We've got a Battle of Hyper Coliseum OGs right here with Jorel being a menace and playing Apocalymon at full force. He's been kicking our asses with this deck, I think, just because Apocalymon will do Apocalymon things.
He has a good list, too. He also has a very good list.
He has a good list, and he enjoys playing these sort of decks. He and Rio both, I think, enjoy this sort of thing. And we see him going up against Arby, who's playing his trusted dog. The Doge deck is back with Metalgarurumon. So again, should be a pretty good showcase of what the meta is all about. Both decks are at full force before the restriction list comes into effect, which at the time of upload would be tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see how the meta shifts moving forward after this restriction list takes into effect. I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more spice come into play, whereas before we're just seeing a lot of Apocalymon. A lot of people are getting their pizza fill, with the pizza man running around.
A pizza.
But yeah, enough of my jibber jabber. Let's hop right into the round over here. Yeah, go ahead.
So something to note too, Jorel and Arby were both undefeated for the day. This was round 4 of our
our locals that went to like midnight.
Yeah, we had a lot of downtime. We had a lot of stuff in between. But yeah, so both people, or both Arby and Jorel have been cooking all day with these decks, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Arby has been playing the shit out of Melga. So
yeah, he's been playing it since the structure decks dropped, and I feel like he's just been refining and testing out different variations with the build and everything. And he's tried a couple of other decks here and there, but I think that every time he does, he's just like, it doesn't. I'm not. The game's not over by turn 3. Why even bother? I can just win with this. And you know what? It's fair. It's totally fair opinion.
So pretty decent start by Jorel. The 2 Blancs help him set up his trash. Arby does decide to push up with the Gabu, which allows him to draw 1 and give itself blocker. He plays out a Searcher Gabumon to, again, just dig for some pieces, and then goes into Garurumon. So pretty solid start from both ends. We see a Deathclaw, which should not have been the case because there was no purple source, as Judge Jorel catches himself. It is interesting to see, though, if you can see Arby's hand here. He is running the EX1 Garurumon, which is not something that you usually will see. I think it's definitely a good tech. Being able to find your mats and your Gabumon pieces, and then using the Garurumon to play out said mats is a pretty decent tech. Yeah. I think you alluded to it in the first recording of this, similar to the Wargrey toolbox variant, where people were running the Greymon to cheat out their ties. I think similar idea.
Well, the new mat too, everything in the Garuru deck draws. Everything outside of level 6, you're drawing a card almost off of anything you do. I guess level 5 too as well. But it pretty much works exactly like how the BT-12 tie did, and like it accelerates you building up from rookie to a level 6 at the start of your turn, pretty much. So you can push up that new Gabu without worrying about it, and then instantly just gain memory off all the mats on board.
Right. Now, we see Arby here just kind of do his thing. Didn't swing. It looked like a swing, but he was just resuspending the Werguru X, and then pitch 2, restood swung. Did hit a Death Claw, which pops the Gabu X, but does go into another one in the back. Speaking of BT-12 tie, though, like, can you imagine if BT-12 tie was the exact same as this mat and allowed Greymon to, like, dig? Can you imagine? Like, dig and get memory gain? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is interesting. So that's one thing that I think is really interesting about that mat is the fact that he is a searcher. That he is, like, he's a consistency piece.
For 3 cost.
I think
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and to me, I think he almost makes it where, like, the BT-5 Gabu that was your searcher, you don't need anymore. Like, if you're running 4 of the new mat, I think you're almost always better off just running, like, I don't know, maybe like the ST Gabu from the All-Force deck to get yourself the extra DP, especially post-ban on the on the Bukas, because you'll need the extra DP to survive, or at least not, you know, waste sources or protection inheritables.
Post ban, you read my mind there. I am doing that post ban list just to give myself that extra DP boost, because I'm most definitely gonna be hitting that 8-card threshold with how much I'm drawing.
Yeah.
So that 1k DP is very easy to climb, and sometimes it is the difference. You know, you hit the big body insecurity, and you need that to live.
It definitely matters, I think.
So yeah, I mean, I think as we were talking, Arby just took game 1.
Yep.
Jorel's hand was sort of bricked up, had to play out a Piedmon, which obviously set Guru to 10 memory, which is not what you want to do. So he's able to just do Guru things, climb into a line, and just go for game, which is just rough if you're breaking that way, you know?
That's what Guru do. It just, me build line, me swing, security gone, me win.
Yeah. So we see Jorel try to set up here a little bit with an analog youth. Not your most ideal reveals, because you get 2 rookies and another analog youth. So you set up your trash, but probably not with what you want to see in trash. And we see Arby just starting to keep cycling, as Guru will do. So Uko comes out, will swing, hits an ice wall, which is big guy living on Uko. And okay, double Uko, fine. And mind you, Arby is now starting at 1 memory. Let's see how far he climbs. Goes into a Gabu X. He can pick up a piece, and we'll pick up 2 pieces actually, and then trash 1. Chooses to pitch a Gabu from the starter deck. Goes into Guru X, which will allow him to draw 3 essentially, and then pitch 2.
I think that's a BT-5 Gabu he pitched, no?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, BT-5 Gabu. And then he's deciding here, decides to swing and crash with the Uko, which is fair with his Gabu X, and then swings, allowing him to play out a mat off of the EX1 Garurumon, which we see Arby doing some Arby thinking, sequencing in his own way. Plays out, does the on play now of the mat to look at top 3, hopefully. Yes, maybe.
He gets there. It just takes a minute. Because he's thinking, but he doesn't really need to be thinking right now. He needs to be revealing. But that's how Arby do.
Yeah, he can pick up the BT-15 Garurumon. It's in at 3 memory now. Goes into the Werguru X. Is suspended. But if he's able to go into the BT-9 Werguru, which he can, he restands, bounces the Uko back to hand.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely nutty. Swings jamming. And Guru be doing Guru things. Mind you, like I said, he started off at 1 memory, and now we have a mat, a training, a level 5, all on the board.
Yep. And he's pretty much just set up to start swinging for more aggression next turn.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Arby's gotten really good with Melga.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gotten so good with it because he's been playing it so much, and you can definitely it shows.
Yeah.
He's been putting in the work and grinding with it.
Goes ahead and swings with the Weregaruru X. Pitches a card to pop the Gazi off of the starter deck Weregarurumon effect. Should be able to draw a card off of the Gabu effect. And yeah. So it goes into the Gabu X in the back. Chooses to go into the Garuru just to choke Jorel to 1, which is fair.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much Apocalymon can really do.
And that's the thing, too, I think, with Apocalymon is that you are passing a good amount of memory with each play that you make, typically.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like if Guru can find its pieces, like, that memory can easily become, like, an OTK play.
Yeah. You see Jorel just trying to consider what he wants to do. He's kind of stuck because he obviously hasn't seen the Apocalymon, and it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, he ends
up playing a Metal Seadra.
Or Metal Seadra, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he'll bounce the Weregaruru X back to hand, which will clear the stack, and then Arby just has the world at his fingertips for memory, which is like,
yeah.
There's not much you can really do because if he leaves the Weregaruru out there, it's just another swing that puts a bit even more likely to lose games.
I mean, the fact that the stack has jamming as well, and just for good measure, has the like promo Weregaruru that allows him to just check for 2, stuns the board, swings twice, and then restands, and then swings again. Absolutely nutty. Absolutely nutty. And sort of like you mentioned too, like we had 2 Apocalys this week, and not once did we see an actual Apocaly play.
Yeah, they did happen. Off camera, they did happen. They just didn't decide to happen on camera. The camera has decided to spare you, the viewer, from witnessing hate crimes.
True.
Which is what Apocaly is in the Digimon world, pretty much.
I think Jorel was making that comment like towards the end of the round too. He was just like, of all the times that like stream debuff happened, he's like, now.
Yeah.
Because he was like absolutely cooking, and then like all of a sudden like the deck just like bricked on him. Like
he just didn't see Apocaly. He couldn't get his Dark Masters and Trash fast enough. I mean, it's hard because Melga does not allow you much time to do anything.
Yeah.
Like you are like, it's rough. You pretty much, the second you see that 4 and back, like, you know they're probably ready to go into to Guru X, and then go to level 5, and then start swinging for 2 checks, Evo, swing 2 more. Like, it just gets crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, the more that we see these decks go into practice, right? You know, I think a lot of us were probably a bit reactionary in terms of the ban list, for better or for worse. But now I think seeing these decks in action, I mean, I think we've seen 2 rounds this week where Melga was just absolutely insane in terms of speed and efficiency. Like, we can see why cards like Buka is now restricted. We can see why the Gabu and the Guru X are restricted. The Gabu X maybe was a little bit of a stretch, you know? But definitely the Guru X, on top of how it would fit in with Apocalymon, how it would fit in with Levaya, like, there's a reason these cards are getting hit, and I think we're going to be seeing that come Friday, or tomorrow by the time this uploads. So, like I said, should be an interesting shakeup to the meta. You know, I'm definitely excited to see what people are going to cook up with. Definitely excited to see like what lists emerge as like new favorites, you know, as the field changes a little bit. So it should be exciting. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this round. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this set from Sully's. We will have a couple rounds from Dean's coming up shortly after these sets are uploaded, and then we're gonna be, by the time this is uploaded, we're probably gonna be at locals later tonight at Sully's once again, trying to get some more gameplay in for you guys. So the last like set of locals where like BT-15 is in full force prior to the restrictions. So we're looking forward to getting some like post-restriction content for you guys. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate every one of you. And without further ado, we will catch ya. You want to end it?
On that flippy flip.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bye.